Okay, guys, let's start. So today we are going to start Pandas library. Okay, but before that, I remember that we had one thing to discuss in NumPy in the last class, right? So that is regarding the slicing and the indexing part. You remember? So this part, right? So over here, what's actually happening here is, so I think, for example, this is our matrix. Okay, so this is our matrix. So there are, as discussed in the other day, so there are different ways of indexing slicing. So one is to give the range, okay, and the other thing is to give the indexing, okay. So when you give it this way, okay, when you give it this way, that means 0 to 2, fine, row, comma, column. In row, you are taking from 0 to 2, that means what it will take? 0 to 1. And here you are taking the indexing, this is indexing, okay, this is slicing, okay. That means you are taking a range. Here you're taking the specific indexes. So when you're saying 0, 2, it will take both 0 and 2. Okay. So 0 and 1 rows. That means this row and this row. Okay. And 0 and 2 column. Okay. This is 0 and this is 2. Okay. So it will be 62, 73, 46, 30. 62, 73, 46, 30. Is this clear, guys? I think this we have discussed, but just I am repeating this particular part. How you can use a indexing and slicing. Hmm? Okay. Yes. So this is one thing. Okay. When you are using a combination of, what is this? Range and indexing. Okay. And even if you okay, even if you take the other way around also. Okay. So over here also it will take 0 to 2 rows, that means 0, 1 row. In that, sorry, no. What is this? This is indexing. Okay. That means what? 0 row and second row. Okay. Rows, columns. Okay. And 0 to 3, that means 0 to 3 minus 1, 2. That means 0, 1, 2. 3 columns it will take. Okay. So 0 and 2 row. Okay. That means 0th row and second row. That means this row and 0, 1, 2. This row. Okay. Only 0 and second row. In that, what rows we are taking? Not all rows. Only 0, 1, 2. That means this, this. So obviously 62, 46, 46 and 48, 22, 15. Okay. I hope this is also clear. So the other thing is, if you take both ranges, okay, if you take both ranges, that means 0 is to 3. This is also super easy because now here rows and columns, 0 is to 3. That means from 0 till 3 means 0 to 2. 0 to 2. Here also 0 to 2. That means what? Here 0, 1, 2. Here also 0, 1, 2. That means 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. So 1, 2. Okay. So this box 62, 46, 46, 73, 86, 30, 48, 28, 52. This is the other way. Is this clear? Okay. So till now what we have seen, see there are only two ways. One is there are two combinations, guys. So one is range and indexing is one thing, or indexing and range, okay, and range. Okay, so what is this? This is for rows and columns. Okay, this is for rows, this is for columns. Okay, so in rows we have seen taking range and columns indexing, or here indexing and range, or here range and range. Okay, this is what range and range. Okay, so but the problem which we faced the other day is over here, right? What is this? This is indexing and indexing. Okay, this is indexing and indexing. Okay, so over here when we are giving indexing and indexing, okay, the way how it works is a bit different. Okay, so here what happens is, see here, so when I'm saying 0 comma 2 and 0 comma 2, so it is not like it will consider 0th row and second row, and over here 0th row and second row. So it's not that way. Okay, when we are giving both the indexes, how it works is, in 0th row take 0th column, in second row take second column item. Okay, that means what? So first in 0th row, what is 0 comma 0? So in other words, it will take this way, 0 0. So take 0 0 item. Okay, and 2 2, take 2 comma 2 item. Getting, it will not consider the whole row, whole column. It is just taking the specific indexing. That's because when we're giving the both the index. Okay, that means 0th row 0th column, what is that? 0 comma 0 item is 62. Agree? So for example, if I run this, okay, so now because this is a random, we are using random module, right? Array, so every time it generates random. So now if you see, it has generated our matrix is what? This. Okay, so in this, when I'm taking 0 to 0 to, initial 0 comma 0 is which item? This item 15. What is the index of 15? 0 comma 0. That's why you get 0 comma 0. And 2 comma 2, which one is 2 comma 2? That means the element which is in second row, second column. This is 0 1 2, and this is 0 1 2. What is that? 23. Okay, so it's just considering only one element, not the whole row, unlike in the range and indexing. Okay, this will happen only when you're giving both the indexing. This is also indexing, this is also indexing. Okay, you're taking specific indexing, this is also specific indexing, both rows and columns. So it will take just the element wise. Okay, so I will show one more example. For example, if I say some randomly 1 comma 3 comma 2. Okay, and here if I take some 2 comma 3 comma 1. Okay, so here what's happening, if you see, so it is taking the first element will be, this is obviously rows and this is obviously columns. So but the here what happens is, one index row and two index column. Okay, that means take the element you need to pick is which is having the index 1 comma 2. Why 1 comma 2? Okay, next 3 comma 3. Okay, and 2 comma 1. Okay, so from this matrix, what is 1 comma 2? So this is row and column, right? So 0th row, sorry, 0th row, first row, and 0 column, first column, second column. Okay, what is that? 11. This 11 is 1 comma 2. The index of this is 1 comma 2. Okay, and next is 3 comma 3. So 1 comma 2 is 11. Okay, and 3 comma 3 is what? This is 0 1 2 3, and this is 0 1 2 3, the last element. This 97 indexes will be 3 comma 3. Okay, so that's why you see 97 over here. And last one is 2 comma 1. what is second index row? 0, 1, 2, 61, and 1 is first index column, this one. Okay, what is that? 61 row and 49 row, this one, 31. That's why you see 31. So it is taking element wise part. 1, 2, 3, 3. When this will happen only when we are giving both the indexes, guys. This also index, here also index. Is this clear, guys?
Yes, sir, clear.
Clear, right? So this doubt we are having that day. Okay, so fine, guys. So in all the other cases, it will consider, in this case, it will consider the whole row, whole column, and wherever the intersection is happening, it will take all those elements in that whole row, whole column. Okay, in this case, but only when we're giving both indexing, right? So it will take indexing. The name also suggests indexing, right? So both indexing, it will take only in that particular index, 1, 2 index, 3, 3 index, that way. Okay, so just remember that. Okay, fine. So now what we are going to do over here is that is regarding the numpy, guys. Okay, so next we are going to start with the something called as pandas. Okay, so let's start. Yeah, so as I said, there are some few fundamental libraries in Python for machine learning point of view. Okay, and what are those? So one will be SciPy. Okay, and other will be the NumPy. Okay, third one will be the Pandas. Okay, and one more thing will be the Matplotlib. Okay, so over here it's not specifically Matplotlib, but this is the most general thing which is for the visualization purpose. Okay, and but along with this you have many. You have Plotly. Okay, you have Seaborn. You have cufflinks, etc. Okay, but it's a set of visualizations. Okay, so over here SciPy is mainly for the stats. I think we have seen the usage of SciPy in our stats module, right? NumPy is for the numerical calculations, so which we have discussed in the last week. Okay, and Matplotlib is for the visualizations. Now coming to Pandas, this is for the data manipulations, right? From the reading till every manipulation, right? So it is on the Pandas. So, and I'm again saying that Pandas is the most module. So you will find in the data science field, I would say. So before entering the machine learning, okay. So, and most of your time as a data scientist or data analyst, you will spend inside this Pandas library. Okay, because you ultimately you should work on the data, right? And this is a library which will allow you to work on data, do all the required manipulations. Okay, do all your analysis, everything you are going to do, like at least 70 to 80% of the work you will be doing in using Pandas. Okay, once the end goal of Pandas is what? To create a data set such that it is in the required shape and form for the model training. Okay, so right from taking the raw data, okay, taking the raw data and doing all the manipulations, right? So that will be done in the Pandas. Okay, and remaining this 20% of the time, okay, that will be using the machine learning libraries. Okay, so model building will not be a big deal in data science. That will be very simple. Okay, so but most of the time to work on the raw data, to clean the data, right, and do some manipulations, everything. So that will be the major part. Okay, so that's why Pandas is actually very easy, very interesting, I would say, because it is what, anyhow we are going to see it in detail, but ultimately it is just like a data science uh, Excel software. Okay, I would say it's a similar to Excel software in the data science libraries. Okay, so in Excel also, what you're going to do, so you have a data frame and you can play with the data frame. Okay, to you can you have a header, you have column names. Okay, so you can find out the sum of these, or you can rename this header name, right? Or you can delete some rows, add some rows, everything. What all you can do some manipulations, or what all you can play with the data frame over here. The same thing you can do it in the using Python. Okay, but you can do much more. Okay, so in Excel it might be a bit limited, but in Pandas, so once you have imported the data set, right, so you can play with it literally. So you can do lots and lots of things, and you can do filters, group by, so many things you can do. Okay, so that's a basic intro, I would say, guys. And so I'm also not sure why this is named as Pandas, guys. Honestly, because at least for other names, it is little bit almost evident. SciPy, scientific, Python, NumPy, numerical calculations, Matplotlib, okay, plotting. Okay. But Pandas, why they have named it as Pandas? So I'm also not sure. Let me see why the name Pandas. Okay, the name Pandas has reference to both panel data and Python data analysis. Python data analysis. Okay. Okay. So now coming to Pandas. So as I said, always try to follow, okay, the official blog, right? So for Pandas also you have pandas.pydata.org. Okay. It's a data analysis library. So over here, so but now in the earlier you need to separately install Pandas, but now you can simply do it by Pandas as import Pandas as well. It comes by default with Anaconda. Okay, so import NumPy as an NP is for the NumPy, and import Pandas as PD. Okay, these are the general alias. Okay, but as you already know that there is no rule that you should use PD only. You can use any name, but 199.99 people uses PD as the alias. So I suggest you also to use same alias PD. Okay, so and once you have this, for example, yeah, so as you can see, this is official blog, and these are all the functions as you can see in Pandas. Okay, and these are just general functions, and there are so many for series, for data frame. Okay, so see, for Pandas data frame we have so many functions. Okay, so at least you will have some hundreds of functions. But the interesting thing, as I already said it earlier, so we are not going to see all these functions, and it is not advisable to go through all these functions, right? Because your aim is not to become a Pandas expert. Okay, our goal is to have decent knowledge about the Pandas so that we can start learning the machine learning algorithms. Okay, because nobody will sit and study all this, and this is also not required. This is a documentation, right? So we are not going to use each and every function, right? So even in your project also you will use some famous functions from all these functions, but not each and every function. Okay, so fine, guys. So we'll start with the basics today, the Pandas. Okay, so yeah, so as I said, the way how you need to import the Pandas is simple. Okay, import Pandas as PD. Okay, and first thing is how you are going to, you know, first thing is to bring the data set into our notebook or any IDE, okay, PyCharm or whatever you are working on. Okay, so that is possible by just reading the data frame. Okay, the way how to read the Pandas data frame is pd.read CSV. Okay, now over here when you are seeing CSV, so usually you will have the Excel files in CSV, comma separated values or Excel format. Okay, but 90% of the time we prefer CSVs. Okay, so because it is easier to read. Okay, and most of the time we also find in the projects the Excel are saved in the CSV format. Okay, you can also read it by using Excel, but we rarely do it. Okay, So the first thing is how to read a data frame. Very simple. pd.read CSV, read underscore CSV, give your path. Okay. So I have this. Where do I have? Give me a second. Yeah. So my pandas file read and write operation. Okay, this is where I am. So over here I have different Excel sheets. You see. So first thing is I'm having exi.csv, ex1. So where is this? This one. Okay. So where this first this one. So exi cs. Okay. So this is my data frame, guys. This is my data frame. So when you are reading it, what's that? A B C D message, right? So this is 159. So 3 rows, whatever you are having. Right. So this is what it is. So it is by default considered. So if you see, it has considered by default the first row as a header. What is header? Is the topmost row, heading, right? And these are its corresponding rows. See here, so it is considered the header, and these are its rows. And also default index also it is considered 0, 1, 2, right? So actually here, if you see, the header is having 1, right? But that is considered as if this is a header, so and the indexing started from here. Okay, that means this became 0th row, this is first row, this is second row. You see, 0th row, first row, second row. Fine. Is this clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So that is Excel. Fine. So we will see many functions, but just we're starting. So there's also something called as TSV, guys. Okay, just like how you are having CSV. See, this is EXI. So if you go to properties, so over here you will see this is Microsoft Excel, but what type of it is? It is comma separated file. Okay, it's a comma separated file, and the file format is .csv. Fine. Only when you have formats like .csv, then you can use this function read CSV. Okay, so if you're having like .xlsx, okay, so usually you have xlsx. Okay, for example, just to show you, yeah. So over, if you see here, this function, sorry, this Excel sheet is not a CSV. So even though everything shows as Microsoft Excel, okay, but you need to go to the properties. Okay, over here, the what is this? The extension. Okay, so the extension is saved as .xlsx. So if you take this file name, what is this file name? So this is T series X. So if you go over here and if you paste this and if you run this, so it will not work. Why? Because if you see, there is no file or directory with T series.csv. That is true because T series X, this file is not a CSV file. This is an Excel file. Okay, so that's why it won't work. So EXI will work because that is a CSV file. Okay, so always you should make sure. So just because it is Excel, you cannot run it. It should be definitely in the .csv. And just I will show you. Suppose if it is not in the uh, Excel file, so how you can do that? So you for example, just to open this, okay, and this is in the Excel file. So you just go here, save as. Okay, so over here, so save as type. So it is showing as Excel workbook, right? But if you want it as save as CSV, click this, and over here you find right CSV comma delimited. So there's so many ways, but use this CSV. Okay, so click on this, and when once you click on this, it will save. Okay, so I already have that as a CSV, so that's why not so, but that is a way how you can change the format. Okay, so everything will be same data, so only the format will be different. Okay, and next thing is you have some other format called as TCSV. Okay, see, but you cannot open this. This is a TSV file. You cannot open it, but to read that, you need to just use a table because TSV is a table format. Okay, so pd.read table. Okay, test CSV. See, this is the data that is present inside that file. Okay, but you rarely use .csv. I mean, never see, but just I'm telling just in case. But mostly we'll focus on the CSV files, Excel files. Okay, so now read CSV. This is my Excel file. Okay, so over here you have something called as pd.read CSV Excel2. Okay, see what I'm doing, Excel. So where is my file? Yeah, so this is my second file ex2 excel2, okay, example2. Okay, so over here, so when I'm reading this, I don't want to be considered as a header. Okay, so that's why when I run this, okay, so you are getting this. See, we are having excel2, yeah. So this is my excel file. We are having 3 rows. If you directly just read this, read CSV, by default it will consider the first row as the header. Okay, here also it happens same, right? We did not say that to consider this row as a header. We just read CSV, but because we did not specify any header, first row will be automatically considered as a header. Okay, similarly here also, when I'm just saying read excel2, example excel2, right? So it will take the first row as a header. And what is this? The first row, it is header. Okay, but this is not the header, right? So actually there should be some header. I just missed it. That's why it is reading, but I don't want this as a header. So that's why what you can do here is you can say header none. That means don't consider any header. So then it will not, it will just do the indexes. Okay, this is not the header, it will just the indexing. Okay, but the actual data is over here. Actual data is over here. Okay, no header will be present because you're saying header equal none. Is it clear?
Sir, in the previous example, you
Hmm.
took head of or no, sir? Draft
Oh,
head of.
oh, no, that is different. Sri, this is head means, okay, good question. See, head means how many rows you want to see. Okay, in the data frame, how many rows you want to display over here. Okay, that is different. This is header is different. Head is different. Okay, see, for example, I'm commenting this and I'm saying draft of 1. Okay, what is happening? It is showing all the data frame, complete data frame. Okay, but if the data frame is having so many rows, like if we are having 100 rows, fine, I don't want to see all the rows. I just want to see only top 3 rows, top 5 rows, or top 10 rows. Then you need to use this head. Okay, head of 3, head of 5, like that. Okay, but the header what we are specifying over here, that is regarding this header. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but good question. See, I'll show you again. For example, I'll just this is example 1 Excel sheet, right? So I'll go here. Okay, so just for convenience, I'm going to just create more number of rows. Okay, so how many rows I'm creating? 19 rows I've created. Okay, now always remember to save the data file. Okay, usually people what they will do, they will just come here. Okay, and they will make the changes. Now I make the changes. I'm come here. Okay, now I'm reading this. See, I'm getting only 3 rows. Okay, and I will be surprised why it is not showing. Okay, the reason is I did not save this. Okay, so only when you save this, the changes will reflect, right? So now I'm saving this. Okay, so when you're saving it as CSV, usually it will give you this warning, so what you can say yes. Okay, so now this is done. Okay, now when I read this, see how many rows I'm getting? All the 17 rows, because the
19.
first two, see, yeah, so total how many there? Okay,
19.
no, starting with the 0. So over here, only this rows. Okay, total 18 means what? 0 to 17. Forget the header from 1 to 9.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 0 to 17. Okay, so this the same thing it is saying. So 0 7. That means total 18, including header, it is 19. Okay, so see here. First thing is what I'm saying is header. So here by default it is considering this header. The first row, whatever you're having ABCD, that it has considered as a header. Okay, I did not say anything, but still it is considering because by default it will consider. But if I don't want that to be considered, I will say header equal none. Okay, so then it will not consider it will not consider this as a header. It will consider this also as one more row. Okay, see, it has considered this also one more row, 0 1 2 3 4, and it will consider ABCD. Sorry, ABCD. The whatever you are having over here, this will also become this will become the first row in the actual data. See here, clear? But if you don't want, if you think that first line itself is a header, you don't need to specify header equal none. Okay, so that by default it will consider the first row whatever you are having that as a header. Getting?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So that is regarding the header parameter. Sorry. Now coming to this head is, this is simple. This head is how many rows you want to display. So over here you are having how many 17 rows. Okay, but I don't want to see all the 17 rows. Okay, because I know what is Excel sheet, but just okay, just for reference. Okay, I just want to say top few rows. That's fine. What you can do here is you can just say data frame draft one head. Okay, so if you simply say draft one of head, if you don't specify anything over here, it will just show you. This head is just for the showing purpose. Okay, head, it will give the top 5 rows. See 0 1 2 3 4 total 5 rows. It will just show you. Okay, this for showing purpose. And over here, if you can specify any number. If you don't specify any number, it will show you 5. But if you specify any number like 2, top 2, 4, top 4. Okay, 1, top 1. Clear?
Yes, sir. If you won't specify any parameter, it will give 5 rows, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that is head. Similarly, tail also you have. Head is top 5, tail is bottom 5, simple. So in the tail, if you see, tail also 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, the last 5 rows. The last 5 rows. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, same thing in tail also you can specify numbers. If you don't specify bottom 5, it will give. If you specify 2, bottom 2, 16, 17. If you specify 1, bottom 1, like that. Okay. This is head part, head and tail. Fine. So over here also, I was saying for the Excel 2, header equal to none means it will not consider the header. And after that, if at all you want to give some column names, okay, that means what? For example, if you see this example 2, okay, this example 2, this is this having a header? No, it doesn't having, it is not having a header. So that's why when I'm reading this, okay, so when I'm reading this earlier, I said don't consider this header, because if I don't give this, unnecessarily it will consider this first row as my header, which is not true. Okay, because this is not a header, this is also a actual row data. Okay, that's fine. But now I want to create a header inside this notebook. Okay, that means in the Excel sheet I'm not having, but while reading it, I want to create. How you can do? Simple. pd.read csv, same path name you should give. Okay, and you can just specify names equal to and give the names of the columns. Okay, total how many columns we are having? 1 2 3 4 5. So 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5. So this I'll delete as of now. I'll show it again. Okay, so if you just read this, so automatically it is creating the header over here. Okay, so for example, for simplicity, I'm giving 0 1, sorry, 1 2 BC minute. Okay, so you can see there is no header over here in the data Excel sheet, but here I'm creating. So in this notebook, you can have the header. So this data, this Excel data frame, whatever you have seen, so now it is also having a header. Okay, the way how you can give just names and specify the number of how many columns are there. You can give those many names. Clear? Okay. So also one more interesting thing here is you can create new columns also. How? So just like this. So for example, I'm saying new column, there is message. Okay. So if there are only 5 columns, but you are giving 6 names over here. So what it will do? It will just create one more column, but there are no values inside it. It will give nan values. Okay. What is this? NaN means nan values. Okay. There means no values. Okay. Not a number. It says not a number. Okay. So it's a nan value. Fine. So you can give as many numbers as columns. So it will just create another rows. Okay, new rows. Okay, but if you don't want, you can give exact length of the columns. Okay. So this is how you can read the Excel and also directly pass the column names. Fine. And other thing is, interestingly, so let's say you are having this CSV index. Okay, there is an Excel sheet called as CSV index. Okay, so if you see here, okay, so if you see here, this is a data frame. Okay, usually if I read this, it will be in this way. And I think you have observed till now. So what's happening? You are having these are the indexing 0, 1, 2. Okay. So by default, you are having 0, 1, 2 indexing, row indexing. Okay. Column indexing will be the column names. Okay. But the row indexing are usually 0, 1, 2. Agree? So for now, for example, over here, if I have yeah. So here, if you see when I'm reading this one, so what it has done, it has considered the first as my header, and all these are my rows. Okay. So same thing happened. First was my header, and remaining all these are my rows. Same thing. But over here in the rows part, okay, over here in the rows part, I don't want this as my indexing as 0, 1, 2. Okay. So I want different indexing. Okay. So here, if you see index column, okay, index columns for key 1 and key 2. That means what? Over here, I want key 1 and key 2. These columns are there, right? I want to use these as my indexes. Okay. So I want to use these columns as my indexing. Okay. So then what happens? You see, this is how it looks like. Okay. So what happened over here? So let's see. So this is my data frame. So earlier the indexings are just 0, 1, 2 by default. Agree? So, but now when I'm saying I want to use key 1 and key 2 are my indexing. So first it will take key 1. So what are the unique values in key 1?
1, 2.
Simple. Okay, 1 and 2. Now this is at first level, that is key 1. Okay, that is first index. And I also said I want key 2 also as my index. Okay, so now in key 2, okay, so key 1 is 1. In 1, what are the key 2 unique values? A, B, C, D. As you can see, only in one, the key 2 are having A, B, C, D, right? So you have A, B, C, D. Similarly, in key 1, 2, what is key 2? In key 1, 2, you again have A, B, C, D. Okay. Okay. Now again over here you have value. So in key 1, 1, key 2, A, what are the value? Okay. So it's the mapping which we are just doing. Okay. So 1, A, 1. Okay. So you're having 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, 11, 13, 15, and similarly the last row. Okay. So now this is how our data frame will look like. What is the difference? Same data, but we are indexing with the different value. We're using the column names as our indexing. Okay. Key 1, key 1 and 2 will be our indexing. Okay. So the same thing. Key 1, 1 and 2, key 2. Now this will be our indexes.
Sir, I have one doubt. In the previous example, we we took extra column, no sir, column
Yes.
name. Can
Yes.
we assign the values for it?
Yes. Yes. You can assign. You can do everything. Okay. Which I will show you going forward. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So over here, so when you're having
Values.
this df extra, right? So these are having values, right? So for example, we are having new values equal to 1, 2, 3. Now you see. Okay. So when I read this data frame, so initially I'm reading the data frame. So I'm creating one more extra column, which is called extra. So it is having initially no values, none values. So after that, what I'm saying, so I'm creating a list called as new values 1, 2, 3. Okay. And this is how you can access the particular column from the data frame. Okay, df extra. So from df, I'm taking extra column. Okay. So for example, here if I say, I will say df of 1. So what I'm getting? Sorry. Only the columns of 1. Okay, 159. Okay. Similarly, if I take df of extra, I'm getting 9 values. So now what I'm equating this 9 values df of extra equal to, I'm saying new values. Okay. So that means I'm assigning these values to my extra column. So after that, once I see my data frame, this 9 values became 1, 2, 3.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So like that, you can do everything, whatever you can think of, right? So you can implement that in the pandas. You can extract single rows, you can extract single columns, assign values, filters, subsetting, subdata frames, whole lot of things we can do. I'll show you going forward. Okay. So but since you asked, good, so you can access columns also. And if you if you want to access multiple columns, so like 1 and 2, for example, right? So it will not work. So because you need to give 2 braces. Okay, so you need to give 2 braces. Okay, so if you want to take more than 1 column, you need to go with the 2 parentheses. Okay, so fine, this we are going to see. Okay, so after that, yeah, so here we are having pd dot so this is how you can do the indexing, guys. Okay, so is this indexing part clear, how you can create the index?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so after that, so you are having example 4. So over here, if I see the example 4, so what you are having over here, so you are having this. Okay, so but as you can clearly see, yeah, you can clearly see, so we got some zinc values over here. Okay, so this row I don't want, and actually this is a data, but unfortunately there is some zinc value inserted over here. Okay, so while reading only, so what you can do here is, so read csv, reading this, I want to skip some rows. Okay, I want to skip rows of 0 to 2, 3. Okay, indexes, those are. Okay, so that means what? So this 0 index, 2 index, 3 index. Okay, that means this row, this row, this row I want to skip. So I want to take only this. Okay, so that also you can simply do p.react csv skip rows. So that's why I not get those 3 rows. Okay, fine. So and after that, what we are having over here, example 5. Okay, so let me close few of this. Okay, so example 5, what we're having. Yeah, so example 5 over here, you have so everything is fine, but over here you're having one NA means null value. Okay, so when you read this, you're having NA null value. Fine. So to know, and also I think one more null value over here. Oh, where it is? Yeah, over here. Yeah, this is, see, empty. Even if you don't have any value, or even if you have NA, so both will be considered as null value size. Okay, so you're having 2 null values. And if you want to see, like wherever you are having null values, you can just say pd dot is null, and you need to pass your data frame. Our data frame is result. Okay, so you're having pd dot is null. I'm asking is null. Each and every value is null. So when I'm passing the data frame, so here it is saying wherever you are having this null values, there it will be true. See, this value is true. In C2, C1 is true. And what is this? Message 0. Message 0 is NA, true. Okay. Clear? Null values.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then you have yeah, so then yeah, as I said, you can also read the Excel file. Okay, so till now we have read CSV, but you have read Excel. Okay, so what is this? Where is my Excel? T series X. Okay, over here there is also one more interesting thing. So initially in Excel, see, this is my Excel. Here you are having 2 sheets, T series and another Excel sheet is city. Okay, so you can also specify. Okay, so for example, I'm saying pd.read csv t series. Okay, this is how you can read Excel. But in Excel, which sheet I want to read? I want to read the city. Okay, so I want to read the city. So it will read only that. Okay, sheet name equal to city. Okay, so it is reading, as you can see, this particular row. And if you want to read this sheet T series, so you can also just specify T series. Okay, so now you might understood that. See, I can take one data, for example, I will say sheet 1. Okay, as my this data, this is my sheet 1 data frame, and I can say sheet 2 is my, see, I don't want to see all these 6 rows, so that's why I'll say only 2 rows, top 2 rows. Okay, and my sheet 2 is my city. Okay, so what is my sheet 1? That is sheet 1. Sheet 2 is my city sheet, right? I have 2 different data frame. This is one data frame, this is one data frame. Okay, so then I can do something. So I can add these two, okay, or merge these two, or you can just use this one column. I can put it as one more column over here, or remove one column. All type of manipulations you can do. Okay, so it's just based upon your imagination and your requirement. Okay, so once you have the Excel sheet imported over here, so you can play with this. Okay, so when I'm saying data frame, right, so this is, that is just an Excel sheet, but we are also going to see like what are different types of values we can store in the pandas. Like we have pandas series, pandas data frame. Okay, there is one more thing actually, so we are going to see that. Okay, but since this is just introductory class, so I'm just showing simple read write functions. Okay, and next you have yeah, so I'll show you like one more example. You have return. Okay, so fine, I would say this, I'll show this is the last example for today. So you can also read from the website also. Okay, for example, see, I'm having this URL. Okay, so HTML, this is HTML page. That means what? This is some website. So if I click this, so this is some basketball reference, and what's it's having. So these are having, so this is having these Excel sheets. So you can also read from there also. So you can just say, pd.read HTML. Okay, read HTML, and you need to just pass your URL. Okay, so and over there, okay, over there you can read these columns. Okay, but what are these? What is this ilog? What we're doing this, and what is this? The range. Okay, indexing range, everything. I'm not going into details. Okay, because that is not my goal now. Okay, so we are going to see each and everything. Okay, in upcoming classes. Okay, so but just to tell you, this is how you can. This is just taking the first Excel sheet. Okay, there are so many Excel sheets over there, but the main thing is this is ilog 10 means you're selecting the rows. Okay, you're selecting the rows. How you can select the rows? Okay, that we are going to see. Okay, but the point here is just read. Okay, the goal of this notebook is just how you can read. Okay, and how you can also write. So this is just reading. So you can also pass your URL. Fine, just pass it, and you can see this Quincy has C, whatever you're having over here. So you see Quincy has C Jordan. So this Excel sheet is read into our notebook. You can see that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yeah. So we're having this column names, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. This column names. So for example, I will take only, yeah. So over here, as I said, this ilog. So just at this moment, This is for the indexing the column values and rows, but just to give you basics. So here, similarly, just now we have seen in the NumPy, right? The rows and columns example. Same thing over here also. This box, this is for rows, this is for columns. Okay. So when I'm saying just this, what does that mean, guys? It means take all rows. I'm not specifying any values, means take all. But in the column, I'm saying 0 to 5. 0 is to 5. That means what? 0 to 4, right? That means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Agree? This indexing, you got it. I understand. I hope. Okay. So that's why if you go over here in this Excel sheet, so it's taking all the rows. So you are not seeing all the rows because I'm saying head. It is showing only top 5. Okay, but the columns are taking 5 columns. It is taking. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means what? RK, player, POS, HTM. Okay, only these 5 rows it is taking. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fine. If you want G also, you need to just say one more row. 0 to 6 also you can specify. So it will consider the column. Just give me a second. Yeah, so the column G also. Okay, so this is how many rows you want to take. Fine. The point here is you can also read directly any URL. Isn't it easy? Any URL, take it, read HTML. Okay, so I hope you're observing the functions over here. It is different for read CSV, read Excel, read HTML, read TSV. Fine. So that these are the already inbuilt functions in the pandas. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So I would say that's all. I'll stop here. So because this is your first class, fine. So go through these functions, I would say, and tomorrow we will take an example of Titanic dataset, okay, which is one of the toy dataset for beginners, and we'll see lots of different functions. Okay, fine. So I would say that's all for today, right? And as I said, pandas, don't neglect pandas. So there are so many actual pandas is very, very interesting. Okay, so once you start writing by your own, right, then you will understand. Okay, so how you can filter everything. Okay, so there will be lots and lots of functions, and yeah, so that's for today. So we'll connect tomorrow. Okay, thanks guys. That's all from my end.